Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in a resourceful feeling of calm and relaxation. And as you exhale, just allow any feelings of stress or tension, overwhelm, or any other emotion that's holding you back to feel that it can leave your body in your outward breath, enabling you to breathe in longer and deeper than you normally would. And as you exhale, just allow your body to exhale much longer, perhaps 2 or 3 breaths on the outward breath, so that when you breathe in again, your breath is so much deeper and more fulfilled than the breath before. The deeper you breathe in, the deeper relaxed you become, and enable your mind to go to that place where change happens. Breathing in and breathing out. I want you to use the power of your imagination to imagine you're able to see a future version of you, perhaps 1 year from now. And I want you to imagine that version of you 1 year from now is living a different life. Creatively, socially, emotionally, and even from a health and vibrancy perspective, see that future version of you very different. And I want you to be an observer of that future version of you. Because there are only 2 changes that are required to change the future: decisions and actions. And as you gaze into this future, I wonder what decisions are necessary to create this destiny. Allow your mind to wonder what decisions would need to take place to change your level of income and financial independence. What decisions are needed to change your health and vibrancy? What decisions are needed in order to increase the quality of your life? And then start thinking about your actions. Actions are either actions that take place once, and that's all that are necessary, whereas other things require habits and routines, because consistency is what's required for those actions to have an impact. Nobody can go to the gym once and then they're done with exercise. Nobody learns on one day and they can consider themselves educated. But you could build something in one day that lasts for years. So as you gaze into the future, you start to wonder, what are the things you need to do just once to create this future? And what are the things you would need to do consistently? And as you start to think of those consistent behaviors, you start to think of habits, and routines. I want you to imagine stepping into this future version of you where you're living this elevated life. Maybe your surroundings are different. Friendships are different. You can feel healthier physically, emotionally, and mentally within your own body. And I want you to ask yourself the question, what habits and routines were required to end up in this desirable place? So imagine going back in time, a year before the future, and start thinking of the habits and routines you could establish. And let's start with your environment. Just imagine your environment is transforming, so much so that those positive habits become obvious and effortless. As you imagine being in that environment, feel a desire, an increasing level of attraction to those specific habits and routines that bring you closer to your goals. And then imagine doing them. Experience the ease with which you can start your new habits, and notice how seamlessly they can integrate into your daily life. Feel that you've already started to make progress, and enjoy the wonderful feeling you get of satisfaction that follows each time you establish and complete one small part of a positive habit. When initiating a new habit, a new routine, make it easy to do, quick to start, and allow yourself just 2 or 3 minutes. That's all the time it will take to start that new routine. That might be adding an ingredient to certain foods, noticing the progress you make, changing your environment when certain triggers occur. And notice how much easier it is to build these routines when you link new habits onto already established routines. As you imagine a chain, just imagine that it's easier to add 2 more links to a chain than to build a chain from scratch. Allow yourself to build this powerful and natural chain of habits. As you focus on the new systems you're building, you can feel the joy in the process, not just the outcome. Maybe you can commit to spending a certain amount of time each day to learn a new language, and you can enjoy the learning of the language irrespective of whether or not you can speak it. Embrace the identity shift that comes with your new habits. This new identity is safe. It is safe to be this new person. It is safe to become the person that you aspire to be. Feel the effortlessness of these new habits and routines as they align with this ease to start them and motivation to continue them. Sense the positive changes in your identity as each new habit and routine takes root. Imagine them just like spinning a roundabout. Difficult to start, but easier to maintain once the momentum is being established. And you could imagine each small habit as an extra link of the chain upon the last, building a strong foundation for success. Imagine the days are turning into weeks as you feel a deep sense of accomplishment as these daily routines are starting to have an impact on how you feel about yourself, with your confidence and self-esteem increasing, that some of your old fears are just melting away. You get a wonderful feeling of satisfaction with how these new habits feel, bringing you joy and fulfillment. And they don't have to be easy. Even a setback is a victory if you learn from it and try a different approach to bring in that new routine. There might be certain routines that make sense when you just wake up, and certain routines that make sense before you go to bed. There might be other routines that make sense when there's a certain trigger, and other routines that you can establish whenever you feel the intuitive desire. See yourself mastering the habit, the heart of these new routines. Take pride in your ability to create and establish a new routine. Feel motivated by the immediate rewards that each new habit brings. The initial reward is the dopamine you get from establishing something new. And the longer term rewards are the natural consequences that that habit and routine brings. Notice, as weeks turn into months, your choices are changing. Your social life is changing. Friendships and relationships, health and well-being is all changing. As you experience a profound shift in your self-image, fully aligned and linked with these new routines and identity. And you can refine and change a routine as you need to. You can reflect on what works well and what needs to be improved, and discover the ease with which you can adjust your habits to better suit your goals. Feel the power of these new routines positively influencing every aspect of your life, adding new habits and routines as necessary to keep it moving in the right direction. And all those months take you to 1 year in the future as you realize that a combination of decisions and behaviors, habits and routines led you to that desirable place 1 year from now. So allow the unconscious mind to unlock all of the resources necessary for you to feel a wonderful feeling that you can establish the routines, build the momentum in the routines, and to slowly, incrementally transform the quality of your life, knowing that it is safe for you to do so. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Return to the present as you wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes, connecting fully in the present moment, as very soon I count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. You will awaken feeling resourceful, inspired, ready to add sequences and habits to pre-existing routines that will create a chain reaction leading you to the very future you desire. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.